Hold it for a sec.
I was miking for the guitar, not for you to take it.
Is that a good one?
Good
Well, I think I have another good one. Is that another good one? Wait.
As Vicky would say, all art is art. It's good. All art is good art.
Well, no, that all art is good art.
Art. She said something about.
Well, no art is depressing, as Dinoff would say. No good art can be depressing.
No good art.
Alright, should we start talking? Or give the people what they want? Okay. Is this gonna get published?
That part or like the whole?
Well, this one, like this session.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Okay, sure. Cause I was I was kind of looking for a redemption.
Yeah.
From my, cause I feel like our last one was bad. Like, it was your podcast was still like nascent, you know.
Yeah.
It was at its incipience.
Yeah.
Do you have questions?
I have questions.
Oh, great. We'll have a seat.
All right. Wait, this is not the right one.
Oh.
This is the right one. I think I know why you like to play guitar more than me. Oh, partly why.
Why?
Because you listen to music.
Is the mic going to pick up on this? Okay, let's restart. Let's restart it from the not the recording. Just like
the saying that.
Yeah, just like start the question like officially.
Okay.
Where do I get a welcome back?
Oh yeah.
Am I
My bad.
I'm the second returning customer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Khyber.
Thanks.
We love having you back on.
Who's we?
I'm the king.
A one-person show. Was that a royal we?
Yeah. That was the Shakespeare we.
The Shakespeare we. Okay.
Or the. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm about to leave tomorrow, going out of town. I'm kind of sad that I'm missing like the early summer after graduation like time period, cuz like I don't know, a lot of people are doing things, but such is life. That's just how it goes.
Such is life. Wait, I'm gonna close. Can you close the window?
Making the guests do all the work.
I could do it if you don't want to.
All right.
Is it? Oh shoot! Why is it? The mic is turning.
I can fix it, man.
Like this thing, like just starts like falling sometimes.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, where's my Swiss Army knife? Is it fine?
What are you about to do with your Swiss Army knife?
Just screw the thing in.
Screw what thing in?
I'm gonna screw the screw.
What are you where?
This?
Yeah.
Cause then
Okay, I don't think this is the problem. It was this, and I just tightened it by hand.
Oh. Are you sure this isn't falling?
It's not.
Just in case.
You just wanted an excuse to use your Swiss Army knife?
Yeah.
That's fair. Love a good multi-tool.
What was it gonna? Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you. Is it really not sunny in where you live?
Well, I'm closer to the ocean,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's usually cloudier, I feel like.
Mhm.
Like marine layer and such. But I'm not really like a meteorologist or anything, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the ocean or the beach, like it's sunny here, and then I go, and then it's like windy and cloudy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is annoying.
It is. We're doing ASMR?
Sure.
No, I was joking.
Oh, okay. I'll just start asking you questions.
Okay.
I have this problem where, like, like I was telling you about the popularity thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think um like I've been trying to like have good posture for a long time now.
Yeah.
And like when I'm walking,
Mm-hmm.
and it's especially relevant now that I'm thinking about talking to girls and like dating and such, that like you have a like you keep your shoulders back and you're like head up,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not like awkward, and you're like not like you know. And
I feel like that third one was like a bit of a leap from head up and shoulders back. I feel like that one carries a lot more
awkward.
weight. Like, yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot more. It's a lot more vague.
Uh-huh.
Just don't be awkward.
No, okay, not awkward, but like kind of
Like don't.
not having eye contact or like bending your shoulders forward.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, and it really bugs me because it's, I feel like it's like I don't know, I haven't figured it out yet. I kind of understand it, but I haven't figured it out yet fully. Where like if I talk to someone who I feel like is inferior to me, or like I'm not attracted to, or I don't think they have social currency, then I kind of don't really think about that stuff, and I can like maintain my body posture and stuff. And then when it comes to people that I do like, or I feel like have social currency, then I get all awkward, like all like I just it's like weird for me to go like this and like maintain my own sense of self, and like maintain my own self-worth, and like not abandon myself, and like be myself, you know. But like with the people I don't respect as much, or like I feel like I don't have that attraction for, like I kind of have like, it's almost like the reason why I do it is because I have like a disdain for them, or like I have, it's like I don't, it doesn't really matter. So like, but I don't like, I'm not going to be respect, like I try to be polite. Well, now like I'm trying to be more polite and like, and try to approach everyone the same way. But that kind of mindset definitely was with me for a while, and I still sort of haven't. So I'm trying to figure it out. Of like, you know, like, can you just maintain your own aura, like with everyone? Why does that happen?
There's a lot to unpack there, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
But just so I can get this straight. So maintaining good posture is something that's important to you.
Yeah, not just posture, but like projecting confidence, I suppose.
Okay.
And just like comfort in myself and not being in the moment.
And you feel like you maintain better posture when you're around people that you feel have less social currency in you? Like you,
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you maintain better posture. And when you're around people whom you like admire or whatever, or you're somewhat attracted to, or who have more social currency, you feel yourself like you don't worry about that as much, or
with people that I admire, or like
is that what you're saying? Like you don't keep your posture as much, or you do?
I try to keep my posture. I get like I can't keep my posture, or like I feel weird if I like appear confident, like if I appear like I have my own identity with them. Like it's just putting them on a pedestal maybe, and then putting myself down, and because like internally I don't feel like I have any worth with them. Not any worth, but just like to feel like below them. Maybe that expresses itself physically. So when I like try to like arch my back, keep my back neutral, it's like I'm being dishonest. Like I physically being dishonest maybe, and I feel that way, then I like go back, or like if I
Okay.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
I kind of know what you're saying.
And I'm not saying that social currency is admiration necessarily. Like, I think social currency can also be separate from admiration some way, or maybe not.
Okay. So for the sake of simplicity, like when we're discussing this, let's just, not that I agree with this or not that even you agree with this, but let's just refer to the people as superior or inferior to you, just for the sake of categorization.
Okay.
All right. Because I think, I don't know, I feel like you kind of relegating yourself to being obsequious, you know? Like in the present, I don't know, you're just going to have to pick it up based on context clues. But doing that in the presence of people who, superior people, to those listening to the podcast, I'm using air quotes right now, so just be aware of that.
We should have done a video podcast.
Yeah.
So we can, because we're going to talk about...
This episode is already so bad.
Dude, stop.
No, I'm kidding.
It's supposed to be awkward.
Yeah. I think your entire problem, maybe not all of it, but a large part of it, comes from placing people in a hierarchy, regardless of whether or not that hierarchy exists. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think acting as if it doesn't and conducting yourself as though every person you interact with has something to offer you, whatever they may be offering, whether it's, I don't know, insight into something about yourself or social currency, again in air quotes. I think kind of like preemptively, like making these preemptive judgments on people, one, it prevents you from getting to know these people for who they are, and it bases your understanding of them off of who you think they are. That's the first problem. The second problem is kind of what you're talking about, is that this idea that you create of them, kind of, that you go into your interactions having already created, it has an effect on you also subconsciously, and that's like what leads to you feeling like you can be confident in the presence of some people, and like kind of like retreating in the presence of other people. Does that make sense? I feel like I just rambled. That was kind of a ramble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you... Okay, so I was recording the solo podcast yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I rewatched the video of myself doing it, and I kind of have like even with myself, like I know I don't really like myself that much, and I'm not really far in the journey of steps taking like self-love for yourself, but like I kind of had like a slight smile on my face kind of like the whole time, which is like inauthentic maybe, or like not what I want, because I'm not really feeling...
You don't want to smile?
I want to smile when I want to smile, but other times I just smile because like I'm afraid that the other person is going to think that I'm disinterested in them, or it's not even logical that this, like, I think this is kind of like a pattern that I developed because of my lack of self-worth. So when you... I don't know how that relates to what you were talking about. But yeah.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're smiling when you're recording the solo podcast.
It's not even a smile. It's like, gosh, I need to rub my face real quick. It's like I can't relax, you know. You know how you're kind of like that, like too. Like, you know how some people are relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like thinking about themselves, or they're not in their head, and when they're speaking, they have like a presence with their words because they're just thinking about the other person or like what they're gonna say. Like, that seems really hard for me. Or yeah.
So your problem isn't with making facial expressions while you're speaking. It's something more, I don't know, intrinsic.
Mm.
It's not just about your face. It's just about how you feel when you're speaking. More so.
That's part of it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's also intrinsic.
So wait, what are you asking of me, right? Are you asking like how to be, I don't know, less conscious of what's going on in your own head while you're speaking?
That's part of it, I think. Like, okay, let me just ask you, like, when you're speaking with other people, do you have, like, what's your goal with, like, how you present yourself or how you are?
That's actually interesting. Because I've never thought of myself as having a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Really, in the first place. I know you're not going to like hearing this.
Oh, no.
Like, I know you're not going to like hearing this.
Okay.
Because it contains, what my answer contains a word that you are not going to enjoy hearing. But the things that I say kind of just come naturally to me. And I knew you were going to hate me using the word naturally. Because I guess you have zero concept of what is nature and what is nurture, I guess, in your life. But I feel like the first step towards being natural
Mm-hmm.
is to stop thinking about what is natural and what's not.
Yeah. You know, okay. I'm scared to, like, did you read my yearbook message?
No, I haven't read any of mine yet.
Okay. Are you going to read it, like, are you going to read your yearbook messages, like, in a year?
I'll read them soon. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Because you told me last year.
Maybe I'll read them when I get home. Anyway, continue.
So I basically said, fuck you, a couple times in there.
Okay.
Just for fun. And, like, this is the thing. It's, like, kind of like the thing with Charlie. Do you remember? At the party, like, I told him about, like, he said that, I said I would appreciate that, and I felt really scared.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember this.
Uh-huh. Well, wait. Okay. So, yo. Jonathan, you want to say hi to Khyber?
Hi, bye.
What's up?
Dude. What are you sticking in?
Yo, that's out of context. That sounds so bad.
Yeah.
We might just have to burn the last like 45 seconds.
There's like a silence gaps function in the editing software.
I know, but you said. Oh, I forgot.
Sticking it.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I don't know. It was just maybe I'm just immature. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
I was talking about Charlie, and I was like, I said that and I was like, I wrote that in the yearbook message, and I was like, did I overdo this? Like, is this bad? Like, is Khyber gonna think I actually like mean this? And I think this applies to the whole talking with people thing and the insecurity thing, which is that, like, in order to be myself, I sometimes need to make other people dislike me, or I need to do things that might be unsettling or different or weird or quirky for other people, like, to other people. But I'm scared to do that because I think that it's going to repel them, or they're going to think I'm a bitch. Dude, I'm so... It's like...
You don't have to... You know,
like...
Okay, whatever. Continue.
Yeah. And I was like practicing saying my cuss words on the solo episode yesterday, and doing it in person with like someone else is like definitely more awkward.
Why is it awkward for you?
Because it'll come off as if I'm making a statement, or like I'm like, maybe it's revealing my real self, and maybe I might offend someone.
So you think cussing is part of your unfiltered self?
I think so.
Okay. But you feel the need to practice cussing?
Perhaps.
Is that because you're so used to repressing your true means of communication?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's interesting. Huh.
Do you think I need to be a better listener?
No, I think you're a good listener.
Okay.
Huh. Because that's interesting, because when you were talking about practicing cussing, I was going to say, like, well, if you have to practice it, then maybe it's not natural to you. But it's like, if it's something like pathological, where you like suppress all kind of inflammatory reactions, then maybe practicing. I don't know what effect that would have, because I've never
practiced.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I feel like my sense of inauthenticity comes from my omission of self, like not saying the things when I want to say them, not laughing when I want to laugh, not having a serious face when I have a serious face, not getting out of somewhere when I want to get out of somewhere, not telling someone I want to do something when I want to do something, not like sitting down when I want to sit down, and so I feel like it's almost part of my self now.
Yeah. Where do you think it comes from?
I think what I heard on a podcast, and the therapist talked about this a little, is like not validating my needs or my wants as a normal thing, like when I was younger. So, and then also like merge with other things, so that makes me hesitant to express, and consequently I don't even know how to express now. So when I'm saying like, I want to learn how to cuss, not learn how to cuss, I want to be able to cuss and practice it, it's because I kind of want to like figure out who I am and what my needs and my wants are in the context of social interaction. Do you have any thoughts?
I don't know. That tracks. Seems about right.
Okay.
Who am I to Go against the word of your therapist.
Do you think you could be a therapist? Like right now, just...
Right now?
No, not right now, I mean like at this age.
At this age, do I think I could be a therapist in the future?
At this age, do you think you could act as a helpful therapist to someone else?
I mean, no.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could be therapist. I might be able to give advice. I don't know how sound that advice would be. But no, I don't think I wouldn't let myself be a therapist to someone else.
Okay. Yeah. I think you basically function as a therapist for me. Like not just like that's not the only part of who you are, but definitely feels like it.
Interesting. Do I say helpful things?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like the whole thing, like this whole like being socially awkward thing and having like insecurity, like a large part of it is the way that I've handled it or just like approached it is from like your words of advice, or maybe it's even just like the way that I observe you, possibly. It feels like, but definitely just like I appreciate the emotional comfort, and that maybe feels like a large part of like you understand me, you really get me. So that's cool.
I'm glad I can be there. I'm glad you think of me as someone you can actually take the word of. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite quote from me?
Ah.
I'm just joking. I was just being self-important.
I have stuff that I've written down from. I don't think I remember like specific quotes. You know, I feel like I talk about being you, or like being authentic, being in the moment, like as scary, and I really feel like a pussy for not just doing it. And it's weird when I do it with you, because I'm like, gosh, I just need to be authentic with Khyber. I gotta like not crash out, but I gotta like be myself. And then it translates into, I'm gonna ask Khyber a question about how to be authentic, and then I'm like, no man, that's not what
So
you're supposed to do.
are you finding your authentic self slowly becoming someone who just asks questions about how to find their authentic self?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
I think that's what they call a vicious cycle.
A vicious cycle.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like I've just heard that said. Maybe it's a vicious cycle. Maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I've heard that one too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It is self-reinforcing. Like, you think...
It's a negative feedback loop. I've heard that one too, actually. I don't know what any of those words mean.
Yes, you do. You definitely know what all three of those words mean.
I have an idea, but I don't think I could define. Actually, maybe I could define self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. Anyway.
Negative feedback loop.
I actually don't know. Like I know what it is, but I don't fully understand the concept because I've just never taken the time to like look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I could recognize one if I saw it, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Speaking of the mic.
So, yesterday I went to UTC. This is kind of like what I talked about on the solo podcast yesterday. But yesterday I went to UTC, and I was like, I think I should talk to some girls. Just like practice talking to girls.
Just like approach them in public?
Yeah.
Okay.
Approach them in public and ask them like the way that I wanted to phrase it is, excuse me, I'm learning how to talk to girls. Would you be willing to chat with me, or would you be willing to talk to me? And so I started walking around, and so the first difficulty was like finding the right girl.
Why?
Like not finding a minor, or like finding someone who's younger than me, who was like much younger than like a middle schooler, because that's weird.
What made this difficult again? Finding the right girl,
okay,
quote unquote.
It's not difficult. Just like I had to like spend brain power to figure out who I was going to walk up to and talk to. Like I didn't want to talk to like a woman either, and
so you needed to find a teenage girl.
Mm-hmm.
I see, and that was a challenge in the shopping mall.
It wasn't necessarily a challenge. It just like took some mental power, and then
okay,
yeah, and then the second difficulty, which is the one that I wanted to say, is like I was really scared. There's always an excuse to like a reason why not to talk to them, to like a certain girl. Like one, like, oh, this girl is too hot for me, or this girl is Asian and I don't like Asian girls, so I'm not going to talk to them. And then, or this girl is with a group of other girls and I don't want to stop them in the day. But I realized like after like going by so many girls, I realized eventually that like if I just did it, it would have been fine. Like they wouldn't care. Like maybe they would think I'm weird, or they would not want to talk to me, but that's fine because like it's my own choice to, and as long as I'm being polite about it, it's okay. And that's actually like good. It's good to take risks and like be yourself and do things that you want to do for good reason. And but like I eventually just didn't talk to, like I said excuse me to these two girls, and they just like they said that we were going somewhere, and like the action of doing that made me realize that like the people who I see as confident, or I see as having self-worth, like intuitively, like viscerally, that you're not like other people like you do it for you. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
No. What about people who are self-confident?
Like you kind of just move through the world knowing that you don't need to apologize like for things in the future. You can apologize retrospectively. Like
what is apologizing for things in the future? So, like I want to hear you explain this.
Mm-hmm. Basically, like feeling like you don't deserve it, or you're not a good person, or other people are not gonna like you, and like submitting to that, and related to the putting other people on a pedestal, and going through life thinking about Yeah, just not having the comfort of like knowing that what if you feel like that you have good intentions and you're polite and you're kind, or what you're doing is meaningful or good, that it's okay. Like if other people don't like you, then they don't like you. It's okay. Yeah, that's what I meant. And if you have that self-worth and you move through the world without that anxiety, and so yeah.
So to synthesize, you realize that people who to you appear self-confident, you think that they are less affected by, I don't know, how they appear to other people, and spend less time worrying about how they appear to other people.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Say that one more time.
This is true.
Say the other thing one more time.
They spend less time worrying about how they appear to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your realization from... Is that what you were trying to communicate? That they don't put people on a pedestal also and worry about the, I don't know, the dynamic and like inherent power dynamic in social interaction?
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what I was saying.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, I don't want to misconstrue your words.
Well, it's like you like yourself, only other people like, you're able to receive other people's love, and how much they like you, only as far as how much you like yourself. And so if you don't like yourself, you don't think you have you don't have much worth, then you're constantly trying to like put other people on a pedestal, and and you don't, but if you do have that self-worth, then you give yourself the comfort and the space to do what you want to do in a moment. Like right now, I feel bad that this isn't as meaningful, or like I'm as comfortable and I feel as present as I want to be, and it bugs me. And like, yeah. Do you want to say something?
No, I'm just listening to you.
Okay. And I know I'm gonna get better at this, but I feel like I'm fighting myself, in the sense that like I'm internally, mentally punishing myself every time I do something that's inauthentic, and I don't just be here. But what I was gonna say is that when what my therapist said, and when I went to Disneyland, like everyone was super tired, like we were all walking, like our legs were sore, and I was just like not thinking really about what I was gonna say next. I mean, I still was, but it wasn't bugging me or creating so much anxiety as it usually does. Like right now, like us sitting in a room where like I'm not moving, I think it gives me like to sit in this discomfort and like accepting the possibility that maybe you don't like me, or maybe you don't, or maybe this interaction might not go the way that I want it to go. Like accepting that, and like also feeling the connection when there is a connection. It's hard. I don't know if I'm jinxing it, it's harder perhaps. And like when I was at Disneyland, And also at house, everyone was like laughing and doing things and moving around, and like when your body takes over your mind, like your focus goes into your body, then your mind you're not in your head, and you can be in the moment, and that's really all I want. Like that's really all I've been wanting the past 4 years. And so I think maybe that's why I was attracted to you, because I mean, a lot of people have this, but you, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but you definitely have like a be in the moment vibe. Not vibe, just you're in the moment. And that's like what I was craving and wanting to understand.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should get less sleep so that you're in a constant state of delirium. And so you can think less about what you're doing and just like operate like.
I literally, dude, I had that thought like today, because yesterday I slept at 1:30 because I was editing like the podcast, and I was like, if I get less sleep, maybe I'll have more focus, like be more present.
You'll be too tired to think. You just act.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you should do these podcasts like over Zoom or something, or like over Zoom, and like you're like running on the treadmill or something while the other person is like seated like in their own home. Such a terrible idea.
I don't like Zoom. That might doing something, like just doing something. It's like moving around.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Like, do you feel that way right now? Do you feel like you are in the moment?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's so much more outside of my head than there is inside my head, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Which isn't to say you shouldn't look inward every once in a while.
That is so true.
I don't know. It's difficult to. I wrote about this in your yearbook note, by the way.
Oh, really?
I think I said one thing, and I don't know if saying this will be contradictory to it. So I'm just going to try to be neutral on it. But like comparing the value of looking outward versus looking inward, it's very difficult to do, you know? Because like obviously in excess, looking inward can be detrimental, as you may know, as you may be familiar with. But not taking the time to understand yourself and what goes on in your head, and just like living outside of your body, I guess, if that makes sense. Like living purely experientially. Does that make sense? That kind of makes no sense. For whatever.
No, I know what you mean.
I don't know. It's about like finding a balance. As I know, I feel like all of these things about like acting naturally, be yourself, find a balance in your life is like so trite, and like it just seems so corny. But like I don't know, people. It's the same thing that I was talking to you about, like liking quote unquote basic songs. Like people like those songs for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously telling people to be yourself is terrible advice, but not because it isn't true, not because it doesn't work, but because telling someone to be yourself is really hard. It's hard for them to do that, you know, just based off of that. Like there's a lot more that goes into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything feels like a double bind when you say.
I don't know what a double bind is.
Or like, yeah, like you can't. like you do one thing and it doesn't work, and do the other thing, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And like they're opposite each other. Like you try to like,
Yeah, sometimes I think about the name of our A-Push textbook that Mr. Taylor gave us is called Middle Grounds. And like the whole thing was like finding the middle ground in history, like taking into account both sides, both viewpoints.
Yeah.
In like a certain situation, I don't know. Just like find the middle ground, you
Is
know?
that
Like I still think about that, like middle grounds.
That's
like,
weird.
isn't that great?
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out Mr. Taylor, Mr. Eric Taylor, Francis Parker High School, U.S. history teacher, not just U.S. history. Does he only teach A-Push?
I know it.
He teaches human geo,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. I know he did that like
Anyway,
a couple of years ago.
shout out Mr. Taylor, history teacher, the GOAT.
I said in another podcast how I didn't like A-Push. I like the first thing I said in the podcast with Augustia.
Who?
Augustia, who goes to Harvard. He asked me, did you like A-Push? I said, I don't want to hate on my teacher, but I didn't like the class. Did you like the class?
Yeah, for the most part. But I think that's because, I don't know, something about Mr. Taylor's teaching. I felt like if you looked for it, he was teaching more than just like U.S. history, you know? Like it was like how to observe, like how to make connections, you know, like how to understand things in context. And I think those kinds of things are important outside of the context of history. You know? I don't know, maybe I don't know if I'm making a good case for Mr. Taylor right now. And maybe I'm like completely missing the point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the same could be said for any other teacher, you know?
He seemed like he seemed really passionate about it and making and teaching and like making those connections. But I felt like it didn't feel interesting. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. I have another question. How much on your podcast episodes, how much of the time is taken up by you doing the talking, and how much time is taken up by the guest doing the talking? Usually.
Oh. Is there a motive why you asked this question?
Just answer the question.
Probably like
if you could think of like percentages.
Like 5%. Like maybe the average would be like. Wait, let me think. The average would be maybe like 20%, because some podcast episodes I talk more, but like the past 2 podcast episodes, like with Lexi and Katie, actually maybe that was 20%, but Maggie and Lauren, I was like 0.0043%. Yeah.
What do you think the percentages are for this episode?
This one.
Insofar.
This one I'm being greedy.
Particularly loquacious.
Yes. Wait, does that mean greedy?
No, it means like verbose.
Oh yeah, verbose. Yeah. This one would be like 60, 70, 70%, 80, 74%. Yeah. Actually, maybe, I don't know. Maybe a little less. But definitely a lot.
Why do you think that is?
Because in the format of where we talk, I feel like in order for you to understand my problems, I need to talk. And you don't have problems. You do have problems.
No, this is true. I don't have problems. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first. 0 problems in my life.
Yeah, you have problems, but you suppress them. No.
Do I suppress them?
No.
Maybe I do.
Maybe
I do.
Maybe you do.
Who knows?
Yeah. And I guess I'm forced to, and you're like a good listener, and you approach our relationship with an intention to understand, and so I guess maybe that's why I talk. Why not? If you don't want to,
No, I was just wondering.
not listen.
So on the spectrum from Maggie and Lauren's episode to your solo episode, where does this fall in terms of your opportunities? Like the quantity of your opportunities to express yourself.
Like 100 being like I express myself the most.
Yeah, 100 being your solo podcast where you just talk. 0.004 or whatever you said. Being Maggie.
It wasn't actually that. It was more like 2%.
I know, I'm kidding.
Well, I think I expressed myself in asking them questions.
That's fair.
Yeah, because the questions I asked weren't like just for them only. It was for myself.
Yeah.
Too. And so that felt, but I did feel like I was suppressing myself. Like I was kind of afraid to jump in and start talking as much as they did. That would be like a 37 or 34. Right now I might be like at a 50, and then the podcast with myself I might have been at like, I was trying to force it too. I was trying to like take risks.
Okay, so we're saying expression. We're talking about expression level 0 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I was saying is that the self podcast falls at 100, but it's fine.
Okay.
No. I want to see where the self podcast falls on 0 to 100. So that's my fault.
I think the self podcast might have been I think it could definitely do more or be more quirky, like not for like myself.
Don't say quirky. Don't call yourself quirky.
Yeah, but the episode with myself was like if I was being generous to myself, I would say like an 84.
Okay. All right.
But if I was being realistic in my capacity and potential, I would say like a 70, like a 79.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But you're at 100 all the time, so it's not fair.
I don't think I'm at. I'm.
You're always.
I'm most definitely not at 100 all the time. Maybe I give the impression that I'm at 100.
You
all
give
the time.
Well, you would you say that you're in the 90s at least, or 90s?
Okay. Before I answer this, who else would you say? Do you think is like at 100 all the time? Who else appears to you to be at 100 all the time?
I'm gonna name drop someone. I might cut out the last name.
Sure.
Kira.
Okay.
Just Kira.
Okay, fair.
Wait, actually no. I feel like there would be more people. Winston.
Okay.
Avery.
Okay.
Maybe Julia and Amon.
Okay. Don't force yourself to come up with names.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
Yeah. Jason's weird. Like I don't think I understand him fully, but Maybe Jason. I think I'm trying to debate whether Kira is fully like. I think so. Yeah. I think anyone who is like dated and like it wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna date to like get like have a date, but like actually like had a relationship that you were invested in high school. I feel like those people must be somewhat comfortable in their own skin for them to be able to do that and express themselves such that they get to that place. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's probably some more people.
Do you realize that probably none of these people are ever at 100% expression?
Yeah. Katie told me, oh, I kind of knew that before, but Katie said on her podcast that no one's ever 100% secure. We're all, some people are like more though.
Yeah. So just day to day, what level are you at?
I'm like at a 63. And then when I'm around people, like if I'm in UTC, school's pretty bad. Like if I'm in school, I'm at like a 50, 40. Wait, that's like the same as right now. So, yeah, like maybe like a 46.
So you feel like we're in school right now? Like it's that same level of emotional comfort?
Not comfort, but like just how much I'm expressing.
Yeah.
Like in class, maybe I'm like a 37.
Yeah. Okay.
39.
Do you think that's because we're on the podcast? Does that play a role?
I think maybe. But also because like we're sitting still, like facing each other, and that's awkward for me.
That's fair.
And yeah. But like I feel like with you, like I kind of put you on a pedestal a little, like.
That's fair.
Like I admire you, so.
Well, I don't know if that's fair, but
that's true.
Yeah, I was like, that's fair. It's like, no, you shouldn't do that.
But so that contributes to it.
Yeah. Why did you start the podcast?
Because I don't know if I could explain it fully, like rationally, but I wanted to understand. Like I don't want to come off as like I had this journey that I want to come on, like this problem I need to solve. Like I kind of just knew that I wanted to talk to people, and I was scared doing it. And like doing this, I could just like literally force someone to sit in front of me to like question them.
That's fair.
And like, and what I realized after like the past like 10 episodes, or just like up until like episode 9, 10, or 11, just like all the episodes, pretty much is like, how come I'm not like in the moment? How come I'm not connecting with them the way that I want to, the way that I feel like some people are, even after talking with them for like, so like for a long period of time, asking these questions that I'm genuinely interested in. And I figured out that it's actually something deeper, something not necessarily related to the length of how long you talk with someone. And it's not just conversation, not just talk, I guess. It's also like something else, like being seen, or like connection.
Why do you think you have struggled in finding this connection?
Because if you're not yourself, then people don't really see you. If you don't do or be natural, find that balance, then people, and I talked about this on the solo episode. It's like, I think everyone knows like who you are. Like Tucker Carlson said this.
The fact that you just quoted Tucker Carlson is crazy.
No.
Wait, sorry. Everyone knows who you are?
Like fundamentally, like everyone knows who you are. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what that means.
Like you know when people are being inauthentic, like they could, like all the markers could be hit for like them being authentic, but like you feel something like where you did dishonest, or like you don't feel that, but you know like who someone is, and it's like kind of, maybe it's like supernatural or mystical to think that way, but like, dude, where did I start? Where was I at?
We're at Tucker Carlson's spiritual philosophy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question you asked me?
It was, why do you think you've struggled to find connection on these podcasts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, and Maggie said this too, like, you shouldn't be afraid of being different from other people, or like people, like, yeah, being different from other people, like that's how you make like real friends. And like I've been scared to be different from other people, have different opinions, be myself, like make a statement, be a weirdo when I want to, be funny when I want to, laugh when I want to, cry when I want to. Maybe not cry, but like just express my emotions and stuff. So that's why I think like if you're not giving your real self, then you don't like yourself that much, or you don't at least try to love yourself, then you're not truly being seen, like in the way that you want to be seen.
Yeah. I think you should try to stop imagining you being your real self as being weird. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Why can't you being your real self just be you being human? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously that comes with like rejection of whatever societal norms and whatnot, which is obviously a large step to take. But I think the fact of you being like, oh, acting how I want to act, or like expressing myself truly as an individual and letting my idiosyncrasies, like not suppressing those and being quirky, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it, even the fact of thinking about it as being quote unquote quirky or weird,
mm-hmm.
or different,
mm-hmm.
it prevents you from actually like letting yourself like shine through, I guess. Because
that's actually really good point. Yeah,
you're applying a stigma, or like to your own actions. Like, well, maybe not applying. You're creating a stigma around your own potential actions. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And that is that's preventing you from actually doing those things. You know? Like, you have to stop thinking about yourself as weird and just start thinking about yourself as yourself. You know? Like, separate the convention of weirdness from what it is that you want to do. And obviously that takes a lot of work. And that takes a lot of bravery, you know? But doing so will make you a lot more like free. At least that's how I try to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people think about it differently and it works for them. But
No, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe I had the misconception that when I think people are being their most authentic self, or just I feel that, like it's when they're quirky, and then I connected it quirky to being yourself, when in reality it's not necessarily like that.
I guess so. And even one step further, I guess, thinking that you're weird when you're doing something will make what you're doing weird. Does that make sense? I think in this scenario, the phrase self-fulfilling prophecy kind of applies. Like if you think what you're doing is weird, then you'll kind of look weird doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
You just gotta accept, like, saying the discomfort of this is normal. I'm normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, that aura is crazy.
What are you talking about?
Dude.
That was a good. Oh.
The Infinity Stones aura.
What are you talking? What are you saying?
No, this is like what it
Infinity
is.
Stones aura.
Oh my god. Do you know what I'm saying though?
Aura?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying though?
The Infinity Stones. Are you talking about me?
Kinda, yeah.
No, I don't know what you're saying by what you mean by the Infinity Stones.
No,
aura.
I just
like
mean,
you have all the power in the universe, or what?
No, I wasn't like being completely literal, but like you described it like very on point,
Succinctly
as to what you are or are.
What? Dude, this is Loki getting a little experimental.
Yeah, this is no, but okay. What I meant by that is like your, like that's what it, like that's like the comfort that I was looking for in you, or that I saw in you, or felt, seen, saw. Yeah, it's just being like completely normal, and you're super comfortable with that, and that's like, I think that's really, like, if everyone was like that, then I don't know.
I have something to show you, something to recommend to you.
Okay.
Have you read this yet?
Not yet. I've looked through it. You're like,
Read article.
finding confidence.
Own It.
Own It.
34. I haven't read it yet, but I feel like
I wanted to read. Yeah, I saw. That was the first one I wanted to read.
you didn't want to read mine.
I wanted to read yours.
I'm kidding.
Yours
I'm
was
kidding.
the second one.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Wait, can I see it? Damn. Okay.
Yeah. That's your homework, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Any other music? I don't know. Any other worthwhile forays into the universe of music?
Well, before listening to Maroon 5 and Katy Perry, I couldn't find anything that I liked except Dominic Fike.
Okay.
So I was just listening to him. And he doesn't have like that many songs.
Yeah. He's kind of a new artist, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually just guessing.
I think he seems like a new artist, yeah. And so I like him. Like I felt like I was starting to like pick up liking music again. But it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't as intuitive as Maroon 5. Yeah. I didn't try listening to Audio Slave, Led Zeppelin, Bob Dylan, Jack Johnson, Taylor Swift.
Didn't like him?
No. I feel like and it's weird because I almost feel like I'm a bad person
When what?
when I don't like the music.
Huh.
Do you know what I mean? Like when I feel like I don't like the person, like I don't like your voice, or I don't like how cringy they are, or
what makes something cringy to you? Well, okay. Here's an easier question. Can you name a couple songs or maybe an artist who you think is cringy?
Well, no. What's that song again? The one we played last year. Can you think?
Oh, Comfortably Numb? No, wait, no. Shit. Not Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd?
Like the one where like you were telling me the guitar strum. Like.
Maybe was that Dreams?
Yeah.
By Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah, that one. And like Welcome to New York. It was one of them. I didn't listen to that many
What's
times.
Welcome to New York?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Why is Dreams cringy? Did you not like it because we've performed it?
No, I think I just didn't like it. I don't know. I don't think it was because our band performed it. Just like it sounded really like I don't know how to describe it. Like she kind of had a whiny voice.
Okay.
And it was old.
It was old, and so it was cringy.
Perhaps.
Huh.
Do you like that song?
It's a good song. I don't listen to it frequently.
Mm-hmm.
No. But I don't dislike it.
Is disliking a song, could you tell me why I dislike it?
I can't tell you why you dislike a song.
Could you tell me if I should dislike it?
I don't know. I can't tell you that either because taking pleasure from anything is pretty subjective most of the time. Enjoying anything. Maybe not enjoying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness. Pretty subjective.
Oh. Okay.
You don't think that happiness is subjective?
Maybe that's why I've been living my life like that. Like this, kind of. No? Like people, you just accept that people are different? That people just have something special about them that are like, that fundamentally draws them to different sources of happiness?
Maybe.
Like in music?
Sure. Maybe it has something to do with how they were raised. Now we're kind of getting into like, is there a soul? Which I don't want to talk about right now because that's a whole another rabbit hole that I don't think we'd ever get to the bottom of.
Uh-huh.
There's like the whole nature versus nurture thing. Like, are we conditioned to find happiness? Are we conditioned to find that certain things bring us happiness, or is it something that we're born with? But I think that's a question for another time.
Mm-hmm. I don't like talking about that because I feel like there's no answer.
Correct.
Like nature versus nurture.
Yeah. But it is interesting to see what other people have to say. People who found that they were able to come to some kind of conclusion, or at least a theory.
Mm-hmm.
There's I forgot the guy's name, but I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation, but a priori, Kant, yeah, like that whole idea of that, like, I think he talked about like what, I don't know, but it's like the idea of like having knowledge that you're born with. Is that right?
Oh yeah, like not having a blank slate, but
yeah.
Or was that? Like
I like, this is my entire understanding of this concept is picked up from other people explaining it to other people and me just like listening, like eavesdropping on them. Speaking of eavesdropping. Anyway, I think this is a good place to end on because I need to go home.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that you should think about what you enjoy. I think you should think about the subjectivity of enjoyment and happiness a little bit.
No, but okay, so you're saying that happiness, last question, your happiness is subjective. Is that why you do stuff that you like doing?
The reason I do things that I like doing is because I like being happy. The reason I choose specific things to do over other specific things to do is because those specific things make me happy. Other people have different specific things that make them happy. You know, like if I was told that I could never play music again, I would be kind of unhappy because music brings me happiness. You know, but if you ask someone who didn't play any instruments, or in whose life music didn't figure as prominently, and you told them they could never play an instrument again, they'd be like, oh, they wouldn't be as impacted as much. I don't think that makes any sense now that I'm thinking about it, but whatever.
No, it makes sense. Like, yeah, because you don't like, do you try, okay, this is like another question, you can answer it briefly. Do you try to do things that other people make them happy, like, or do you think there's like, you don't force it, like,
well, I think there's a certain level of exploration that needs to be done, you know, to figure out what you like. I didn't just like, well, maybe I did see that certain things make other people happy, try them out for myself. If they made me happy, they made me happy. If they didn't, they didn't. You know? But you have to be willing to try things.
Okay.
Anyway.
We never got to talk about fashion.
Oh, okay. My final word on fashion is that I did not deserve Best Dressed in the Francis Parker School 2025 yearbook. I think that honor should have gone to either Anson Lowe, Bridge Bardwaj, or Austin Temple, or Ethan Urquhart. And then also Gabriella Becerra. That's my final say on this.
Was that objective?
That was my opinion.
Okay.
Were you gonna close the show now?
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace out, everyone.
Great outro.
What am I supposed to say?
Super definitive. I don't know. It was good.